Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Blank Check here, and today I am back with Magpiepony's Pinkie Tales series. Back in August, I made a promise to react to every one of these videos, and maybe, little by little, I can eventually get around to that. And the only way to make that a reality is to put one hoof in front of the other and get to the second episode, which is titled Little Red Riding Bloom, which apparently Apple Bloom takes the role of Little Red Riding Hood, who is on her way to see her grandmother, who I assume is Granny Smith, but is confronted by a wolf along the way, or maybe a timber wolf. And a scene from this was probably shown at Mag's BronyCon panel, but I honestly do not remember who the wolf is. I'll let that be a surprise for me. So, ladies and gentlemen, to grandmother's house we go. Oh, it's coming right at me! Oh! Alright. Pinkie Tales! Little Red! By Magpiepony.
You're going to love tonight's story, Poundin' Pumpkin.
Okay, that's a through line.
Adventures of a little filly, a terrifying wolf, and the proper use of cookware.
Pinkie's always reading to the Cake Twins.
In a small village just outside the city, there lived a pony called Little Red.
And our narrator is Guthiu Serenade.
This nickname due to the fact that she never took off a little red cape that her granny had made.
Yeah, it hides
To hide her blank flank from the other colts and fillies in her class.
serious deformation.
She had grown accustomed to wearing it, regardless of her cutie mark.
There's a hideous,
Little Red Riding Bloom's mother gave her a basket of apple treats to bring to her granny.
grotesque
Who lived
growth
in another village on the other side of a thick forest.
on the side of her
Although Little
hip.
Red was a sweet filly at heart, she was known to get a little distracted. Just like another certain pink pony who was chewing was interrupting the story.
What? Me? Oh, sorry.
Aren't you reading this, Pinkie?
That you mean how those apple treats sound so good, and I couldn't resist eating a few myself.
Is this a
How
magical
did that
book?
sound good. All I said was that she had a basket of treats.
Do you open it and then it's an audiobook?
Said it. All I could think about were apple pies and fritters and apple cider.
Yeah, apple cider.
Muffins.
Give me some of that.
Do they make apple muffins? If not, they should. That would be so delicious, and they would go great with the mug of cider too. And
Can I get
And
back to
Apple
the story,
iPhones.
please?
And Apple Macs.
sure.
Thank you.
Apple
Now,
stock.
Little Red Riding Bloom's mother instructed her to stay on the path and not stop for anything or any pony. on
Interesting
the
that
way.
our stand-in for
She
the
warned
mother's
the forest
hoof
could be
is
a dangerous place, especially for little fillies and colts.
Big Mac Red.
If it's so dangerous, why is she letting her go into the forest on her own?
This video obviously
That's how the
came
story
out
goes, Pinkie Pie.
Well,
at least a couple years ago.
Jack was here. She wouldn't let her go into the forest alone.
Well before pear butter was
What kind of mischief that little pony can get into?
a known
in there?
quantity.
Well, if you would let me continue the story, we might be able to find out.
Pinkie Pie, stop
Sorry. My bad.
poking holes
Right now, I promise.
in the logic of the intro.
Began her journey with a smile on her face and a skip in her step. She sang a merry little tune and reached into the basket.
That basket must be
pulling out
bouncing
a
up and
delectable
down
looking and delicious
on her
smelling
teeth.
apple pie.
uncomfortably.
I'm sure Granny won't mind if I took a few bites of pie. To keep my strength going, of course.
Little Red
It looks like
said to
she's
herself
sucking on
as
it.
She gobbled up a particularly large piece of pie.
I
The
only
smell
eat the innards of the
and all
pie.
the other pastries
That's
in
where all
her
the good
basket
parts
were
are.
beginning to attract a sizable crowd of forest animals, including the dreaded big bad apple wolf, who was known for her insatiable hunger for all things apple.
Okay,
Finishing her last juicy apple, when she
AJ
saw
has
Little Red
an
Riding Hood,
insatiable apple
she
hunger
gasped and leapt out from her
to deal
hiding
with.
place to confront the little filly.
Apple Bloom, a Little Red Riding Bloom. What tarnation are you doing so far in the woods on your own? Don't you know that there are dangerous creatures about?
Like you?
Wait,
Little Red
AJ's the
replied,
supportive,
taking a
big,
step away
good
from the
wolf?
in fear.
Yes, like me. I'm a wolf for Celestia's sake. And do you know what wolves like to eat?
She's so protective, she's scary.
Apple pie?
That's the
Little Red
twist.
said, holding out the remains of the apple pie she had been eating.
Boy, I do like me some apple pie.
Yes,
Applewolf started, taking the pie from Little Red and finishing it in one bite.
I'm a pie-eating
What
champ.
I meant to say was, where are you headed,
That is a really cute
I'm on my way to Granny's house.
wolf
with a basket
nose
full of goodies.
to Granny's
prop
house, you said.
costume.
And where does your granny live?
She lives at the end of the forest path in a little old cottage surrounded by apple trees.
You don't say. And does your granny live with other
Well, that
ponies?
sounds delicious.
Granny lives alone. That's why I had to bring her this basket, you see. She likes the sweets, and she likes...
Well, that sounds dangerous. Why don't your granny live with your family?
But you know, little Philly, there are plenty of hours left in the day. What's your hurry?
Mama told me not to dawdle and stick to the path.
Did you just say dawdle?
Miss Wolf, but I really should be getting on my way.
Do you even know what dawdle means?
Paused
Little
and
Philly.
contemplated her situation before she concocted the perfect plan to...
Question!
Oh, that's so cute.
What's contemplated mean?
It means to think.
I think this scene was in
Applewolf paused
the BronyCon
and
panel.
contemplated her situation before she concocted the perfect...
Question!
I think it was. I think this was the exact scene.
Pinkie.
What's concocted mean?
It means...
Look,
thought
Pinkie,
up.
don't ask things you don't want to know.
Can I get back to the story now?
Uh-huh.
Applewolf paused and contemplated her situation before she concocted the perfect plan to distract Little Red Riding.
Under the coniferous trees.
What? Pinkie? You even know what the word distract means?
Oh, I don't need to know what that means. I already know. It's when you can't stay focused. Like you're interrupted or something.
You don't say. Didn't you have a question?
I love this vector.
Oh, I guess I forgot.
That's Pinkie Pie.
Applewolf paused and contemplated her situation before she concocted the perfect plan to distract Little Red Riding Bloom from reaching Granny's house. Applewolf intended
I'll
to get
lure
to Granny's
her
before Little Red
with a
so that
trail
she
of
could eat the
apples.
apples from her yard and then finish off Little Red Riding Bloom's basket for dessert. After all, wolves have a rather large appetite, and Applewolf was no exception.
Applejack's a very hungry
Hey there, Little
beast.
Red. Have you noticed what wonderful flowers are bloomed in the meadow there?
Why are you following me, you stranger? You're very
Well,
creepy and
You
furry.
think Granny would like some flowers to go with her apple desserts?
How do you know they're all apple desserts, Apple Wolf?
Look,
It was
Granny's
just
gonna need some flowers
Her head was mighty
in a
tasty.
couple years.
A pony can't live on
for
pie
very
and
different
chips alone,
reasons.
Now, can they? They gotta have all kinds of good things to eat. Like those daisies over there.
I guess.
I just want to see, like, a bunch of Daisy the pony vectors just
Mustn't
crowded
be
up,
early now. Granny will be wanting a fresh bouquet to go with those desserts.
like, in a bouquet.
Did I just say dilly-dally? Consarn it, storytellers. Stop putting words in my mouth.
Having been fooled.
Who's writing this crap?
Little
I wanna
Red
call my
Riding Bloom
manager.
disobeyed her mother's wishes and strayed from the path to pick some flowers in the meadow. While she did so, Applewolf quickly followed the path until she happened upon a little cottage on the other side of the forest.
Found
Her
it.
eyes widened when she saw that the group of apple trees surrounding the little house were bucked clean of apples.
Oh, I was about to say, those aren't apple trees.
Guessing that they had undoubtedly been harvested and now inside Granny's cottage.
Those are barren, good-for-nothing trees.
Wolf approached the house and knocked on the door.
What good's a tree if it's not an apple type?
Oh, well now, who is it?
It's me, Little Red Riding Bloom.
Applewolf said.
Well, you nailed the
trying to imitate
accent,
the
so
little filly as best she
kudos.
Who?
Your granddaughter, Little Red.
I have a granddaughter named Little Red.
Oh.
That's who I am, Granny. Little Red.
No, I don't want any Philly Scouts.
The Dementia hilarious.
I've got plenty of apples in here, thank you.
Applewolf let out a frightening
I played Hitman. I believe that you could fool an old lady with this.
Did not seem to upset the old pony. Instead, she called out,
Who is it?
Applejack, is that
I'm getting
you?
mighty tired of this bit,
Granny,
Now,
you gotta play
where
your
are you
part.
keeping them apples?
Remember your
Granny
lines.
struggled to get out of her rocking chair and slowly made her way towards the kitchen before she gave Applewolf her answer.
I like Granny has some butterfly rainbow prints on the wall.
For many years, you darn varmint.
Good taste.
And I'll be corn swabbled if I have some apple thieving wolf take this here crop.
Throw the silverware.
Dialogue in the story. hornswoggle. Ah!
Yes!
Applewolf said,
Yes.
ducking when a frying pan soared across the room,
Take that.
nearly hitting her in the head.
Ah!
This is some battleground stuff right here. Frying pans! Right to the face. I like it, it's only frying pans.
Your apple. Ow!
I have so many frying pans.
Ow! How many frying pans do you got?
Look, I gotta make a lot of fried apple dishes.
Ah! Ow! My tail! Good gracious, Granny, where are all these coming from? Quite a strong hoof for such an old pony. Hey!
I keep frying pans all over Equestria for frying pan emergencies.
Granny smirked and nodded her head, reaching for another pan, but finding the cupboard bare.
Oh, shoot!
I wish that bonnet she had was just her hair.
Things.
Just super pink hair would be great.
Finally.
Applewolf said, growling again as she leapt across the room towards Granny.
Oh no!
A few hours passed,
We're getting to the-
and Little Red Riding Bloom finally made
The
her way
vor
to her
aspect of the
granny's
story.
cottage. As she skipped towards the front door, some of the many wildflowers she had collected trailed behind her. She hadn't intended to stay in the meadow for so long, but the more flowers she found, the more she wanted to collect them.
They're
By the
so
time she was
pretty!
finished, the meadow had practically been picked clean.
I couldn't just leave them
She
there.
knocked happily at her granny's door.
Granny,
There's like 5 different colors in here.
it's me, Little Red.
There was a long silence followed by the sound of a bed creaking, but no reply.
Granny?
At least that's what I assume. If I weren't
Pushing open the
colorblind.
door and inviting herself in.
Did you forget I was coming?
No, dear, I'm in here.
Applewolf said, trying her best to make a granny impression.
Honestly, actually,
She had
this
stolen
is
Granny's nightcap
the perfect
and hidden under the covers of her
hitman
bed,
situation.
hoping to fool the filly. Little Red pushed open the bedroom door curiously.
There you are.
Put on the bonnet.
Doing in bed so
They'll never see the barcode.
barely sunset, Granny.
I've been real tired from all that apple bucking.
I've been bucking apples all day and night.
On trees, Granny. You have it for years now.
Well, I thought I'd give it a try this year.
I was feeling mighty spry.
Let's get there.
Oh, I bought you some sweets for Mom on me.
Those uppers really got me a bucking.
And cake.
Give 'em here, youngin'.
Applewolf insisted, trying not to look or sound too desperate, despite the fact that she was beginning to drool.
Granny,
Well, the thing is, I don't really have any more of them.
there's a lot of saliva in your mouth.
Well, you see, I met this wolf who showed me a meadow of really good-looking flowers and said I should pick some for you.
I sacrificed the treats to the flower gods.
To nibble on while I was picking up, and I guess I accidentally ate them all. I have a lot of flowers, though.
Flowers? I can't eat flowers. I'm a wolf.
It was an honest mistake.
Old pony. Flowers mess with the old digestive system.
Applewolf's sudden outburst caused Little Red to take a closer look at her granny.
Yeah, those colorful
And she
flowers
hesitated.
really
Ma,
don't go down that well.
you have Granny?
All right, this bit. The better to see you with, my dear.
Look, we all have big eyes. We're equine ponies.
The better to pick apples with, my dear.
What big ears you got?
The better to hear about you gobbling up all my apple treats with.
I don't think this really
What you got?
plays that well.
Flank. You can't even
They all
see
have big
my
eyes and big ears.
Besides, I'd say Rarity's flank is far bigger than.
What a big eagle.
That's good. That's good.
Now that there's just plain rude.
Look, Granny Smith has a giant ego.
Ugh, I can't take
That's a good
this
point.
anymore.
Granny does not have actual teeth, so
See? I'm the wolf.
Ah, the wolf! Where's Granny? What have you done to her?
ah, the wolf.
Did you gobble her up?
Oh no!
Little Red cried, dropping her basket of flowers and backing into the wall.
Someone save me!
Gobble her up? I don't gobble up ponies. I gobble apples. And I was supposed to gobble those treats you had. But you
I'm not gonna
went
make a
and
joke
yourself.
that I was thinking of, but
Ew! The wolf
just
didn't
imagine.
eat me.
Just think about it.
Little Red cried, running away from Applewolf towards the door.
Didn't you hear me? I don't eat ponies, I eat apples. Come back here.
I don't eat ponies, I just murder them and stuff their bodies in little holes
The pair of them
that I dig with little spoons.
causing quite a ruckus, which
Oh, there's
caught
Big
the
Mac.
attention of Lumberjack, who was passing by.
Lumberjack, I like
Rushed
it.
into Granny's cottage to see what was wrong.
This is what happened after the end of Dexter, I think.
Here.
Pinkie, what are you doing?
Well, I wasn't in the store yet, so I figured I'd Lumberjack who saves the day. Also, how weird
Look,
is
I
it
knocked
that
him
they're
out.
called Lumberjacks, and
Took his
that's not the
clothes.
part that Applejack is playing?
No, Pinkie, this is supposed to be Lumbermack's part. Where is he?
I ate him.
Nowhere. He's nowhere. He must have quit or something.
I gobbled him up.
Yep.
He was delicious.
And I'm sticking to it.
I'm secretly a wolf. I eat apples.
Where did you hide him?
Why would you think I hit him?
We all know Pinkie has an interdimensional pocket.
Something else. Gummies, at the dentist, and he doesn't like it.
Gummy doesn't have teeth, Pinkie.
And the dentist is right next door.
Sorry.
Right next to Granny Smith.
Pinkie, let Lumbermack go right now.
Fine. I
No.
still think I would have been a better lumberjack.
He's mine.
Pie.
Pinkie!
Forever. My agent is gonna give me some real roles
Anyway,
and some real stories,
Woof, Lumbermack rushed into Granny's cottage to see what was wrong. When he
or
got
he is
inside,
fired.
He found Little Red Riding Bloom assaulting Applewolf with a little wicker basket.
Oh, thanks, Celestia! Get this little filly away from me!
Applewolf
Please save me.
hiding behind Lumbermack and clinging to his back hooves in fear.
This child is a monster.
Little Red Riding Bloom insisted, trying to get past Lumbermack, who held her a hoof length away from Applewolf.
Applejack
I
is
did
really
no
cute
such
in that outfit,
thing.
at least.
If you would just listen to me,
From the doorway, Lumbermack
No
and
can
Little
do.
Red could see Granny, holding the frying pan in her mouth and hauling a large cart of frying pans.
Who are you?
Reading 120 frying pan set, great for keeping out unwanted guests.
That's scarily accurate.
Someone link me to that Amazon page. I need.
Back to the bad Pinkie corner.
Aww.
What in tarnation?
The bad Pinkie corner specifically.
Granny asked, looking at the horrendous state of her cottage.
We can't let her intermingle with all the other ne'er-do-wells.
A wolf best me? No such thing, little one. Now you go on and get the broom from the closet and start sweeping up. Lumberman,
Her voice is echoing across all the pans.
start picking up the furniture.
Yep.
What do we do with the wolf?
Don't let him touch it.
Worry none, youngin.
We'll chop it all down.
Something in mind for her.
We'll roast her.
So Granny, Little Red, and Lumbermack
Wolves are good
tidied the little
eating.
cottage and restacked the frying pans in their proper place. When Applewolf finally came around, Granny convinced her to work as a guard for her little orchard, protecting the apples from
All right.
pests and thieves alike. In exchange,
Sure.
Granny and Little Red would bake her all kinds of apple goods to satisfy her hunger. But
I wanna
if
see someone try to
ever
steal the
decided
apples.
To get out of line or eat the apples herself, Lumbermack
Get run off
wasn't
by
too
the
far
wolf.
away with a frying pan ready. Little Red Riding Bloom learned never to stray from
Yeah.
the path, and to
A
stock up on
superheated frying
cookware
pan.
in case of an emergency.
Red hot.
And they all lived happily ever after. Get it?
Ha.
They're apples?
Ha.
Shh. They're asleep.
My sides.
See you next time for some more Pinkie Tales.
I can't handle the comedy. Alright, that was cute. They even got the little red cape on the Pinkie Tails. That's cute. Pinkie Rose, Wupcake. Oh, Wupcake is Applejack, alright. Roslyn, yeah. Magpie's Pinkie Pie. Who would have guessed? Pitch is Lumbermack. Alright. The very short-spoken Lumbermack. Next time, the Three Little Pigs and the Big Bad Werewolf. Join us then for more dilly-dallying. Don't forget to check out that one. It was something. It was fun. I like these. They're fun, and I'm really sure that they get a lot more complex as time goes on. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that was Pinkie Tales, Little Red Riding Bloom from Magpiepony and her wonderful voice actors. Like with Applejack and the Beanstalk, it was a very endearing little story, providing a safe but interesting twist on the fairy tale. Once again, Pinkie likes to break I guess, into rather than out of the fourth wall in this series. And AJ's disdain for some of the writing seems consistent. I hope that stays true through the series. Also, I just really like to see Goody Booty getting really angry. I don't really remember when the series took off in a big way and when I expect to see major changes in the format. But what we have here in these early outings is still plenty charming and a good time. I do look forward to seeing what comes of things in the future though. So Magpiepony and everyone else, thank you for making this. And you guys, thank you for watching. Until next time, remember, we all have an insatiable apple appetite.